Yeah. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Chris B. Daniels, and welcome back to another episode of ShowNTalk. So today we're going to be talking about a pretty interesting movie, something that I saw on Hulu a few days ago. This movie's called Piggy. So I actually seen a clip of this movie on Facebook. Y'all know how they be putting like different clips of movies on there, and but you don't even know what the movie is. They don't put the title up. It's just a clip. But that one clip alone got me interested in watching this movie. So as I was sitting back watching it, I was thinking, I'm like, okay, because the plot of the movie is something that you really would not expect, but at the same time, you probably would, if that makes sense. You just have to watch it to understand what I'm talking about. But the plot for me, it kept my attention the entire time. So it's actually a foreign film. It's a Spanish film. So I had to read. Well, no, I didn't have to read no subtitles. It was actually English dub. So I was grateful for that because sometimes watching a movie, you're barely paying attention on what's going on while you reading the text. You know what I'm saying? But the plot, like I said, was pretty interesting. So it's about this obese girl. You know, she works in this butcher shop with her father. It's like a family owned business. So every day, just by the way she is, because it seems like she's always to herself and she's always being tormented by these two particular girls. Now, one of the girls isn't really, torturing her like that. But the other girl, she was relentless. But really, how it all came about is one day where she went to the pool. You know what I'm saying? Like the local pool. And while she was in there swimming, the two girls that kept messing with her showed up. And then the one girl that was just being a straight, she was a dickhead, you know what I'm saying? But she straight tortured this girl with no scruples, you know what I'm saying? So what happened was she took this fish net or this pool net, you know what I'm saying? And she threw it on top of the girl because the girl was trying to get away from them. So she went from one side of the pool to the other side. And then before she was able to get to that side, the girls came around to the side that she was swimming to with the pool net. And she threw the pool net on top of the girl's head while she was in the pool. And the girl, you know, she was begging her to stop. Like it looked like she was about to drown because she couldn't bring herself up because the girl kept weighing her down with the pool net. You know what I'm saying? So there was another guy that was also right there in the pool when the girl got there, the big girl. So the guy gets up out of the pool and decides to leave. But before he does, he glances at her for like a split second, the big girl, and then he walks away while the other two girls are still there, torturing her. So eventually they let her go. But before they leave, they take her bag with everything in it. You know what I'm saying? Her clothes, her phone and all of that. And so the big girl, she was forced to walk home in her bikini or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So as she was, making her way home, she saw this van that she came across. Now, this is the clip that I seen on Facebook. So the same guy that was in the pool with her, he was actually driving that van. But the girl, before she knew what was going on, she seen the two girls that was just messing with her in the back of the van, begging her to let them out. But the guy was looking at her like, yo, wasn't these just the two girls, that was, messing with you? And so the girl decided not to help him. And so the guy drove off with the girls in the back of the van, and she decides to, walk home like, the way she was because not no, the guy gave her a towel or something to put around her. So she made her way home. And when she got home, her mother was trying to call her or whatever, right? And the girl, she made it seem like she didn't hear the phone call, but at this point, she doesn't have her phone. So later on that night, um, one of the girls that was torturing her mother had came by their house, looking for her daughter, and she was trying to figure out whether the big girl was at the pool or not. You know what I'm saying? But the big girl's mother told her to basically to screw off. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't trying to, cause the woman, she was panicking, just trying to figure out, what happened to her daughter. And so the next day, or I believe it was that same day, I'm not sure, man, cause this movie, like I said, it was short, but at the same time, like everything happened at once. So the mother, no, the daughter was in a butcher shop with her father, and her father, he needed some stuff. He wanted her to go next door to get him a soda, and it was something else for the shop. So she met her mother on the way to the store, and her daughter kept trying to tell her that, her dad really needs the supplies. And then her mother, she was in a panic. And so the mother and daughter, they decided to go back out there to the pool to see what happened. You know what I'm saying? It was an investigation going on. And so this is where, one of the cops, one of the officers, they kind of caught on to, you know, the girl because based on the way, she was looking, and then she drew unwanted attention by throwing up over the side. You know what I'm saying? So that's when the girl who was messing with the big girl's mother came to the house trying to figure out, what happened to her daughter. And so remember, the big girl, she was in one hell of a predicament because the killer, he was watching her, and at the same time, the cops, they were on to her. You know what I'm saying? So she was basically stuck between a rock and a hard place. That's why she didn't help the girls to begin with. So eventually, what happens is, the big girl, she decides that she needs to get her phone back. So she grabs her, I think it was her mother's phone, and she leaves the house. So when she left the house to go find her phone, right, she found it in the woods eventually. And then she came across the killer again. So while she was out there with the killer, it was a search going on. You know what I'm saying? And it was like two different families out there looking for their daughters. So the killer had told the big girl to hide. You know what I'm saying? Because he had hid her inside like this little shed or whatever, and she almost got caught a couple of times. And she did actually. One of the officers spotted her, and she had ran off back home. So by the time she got back home, and she did find her phone, but by the time she got back home, right, um, the killer, he was already at the house. Now there's some parts I didn't mention. I just want y'all to watch the movie, but the killer, he was already at the house. Fighting her dad. He knocked him out. Either he knocked him out or put him in a coma or something because he was on the floor unconscious that whole time. And then he went downstairs to confront the mother and damn near killed her. So the moms, she saw the killer take her daughter with him. And so he takes her to like this factory or whatever, this abandoned building. It was either a factory or a warehouse. But when he got there with her, the big girl realized that the two girls that was messing with her earlier in the movie were there. They were tied up. You know what I'm saying? So the big girl, you know what I'm saying, with no hesitation, she was trying to save them. But they wanted her to get them down before the guy came back. And she was not successful in doing that. So the guy had wound up cutting the the one that was messing with her relentlessly, you know what I'm saying? He wound up cutting her down. And he wanted the big girl to stab her, stab her first, kill her first. So it appeared that the girl was going to do it, but she turned around and tried to stab the guy instead. So the guy turns on her, right? And he has a shotty. And so he was about to kill both of the girls that was tied up anyway. So what happens is the big girl, she gets up and she intervenes. And she winds up tackling the guy, and the gun goes off, accidentally shooting off one of the girl's hands. Like, he blew the hand complete. Like, the gun, it blew her hand clean off. You know what I'm saying? She was just hanging there by one arm, you know what I'm saying, tied up. And then the big girl was fighting with the guy, wrestling with the guy. And then she winds up biting into his neck and ripped out his jugular. You know what I'm saying? So he pretty much bled to death. And the girl, after he died, she gets the gun, and it looks like she was gonna kill them. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't. She just freed both of them. You know what I'm saying? By shooting off their restraints. And so after she had saved them, she had left, and she came across this guy, this boy that she's known, back in the city, and he gave her a ride back to town. And that was pretty much the end of the movie. Now, I want to say this. As I said in the beginning, it's not the type of plot that you'd expect. You know what I'm saying? You would have thought that this girl herself was the killer because she kept being, getting tormented by people in town. Oh, and it was like these group of dudes that was messing with her too on her way home. That same day she had to walk home in her bikini. You know what I'm saying? You would have thought that she became the killer, but it was not like that. And as far as the characters, as far as the characters are concerned, yo, none of the characters, in my opinion, are likable. And it's kind of ironic though, but I will say this: the killer, he was kind of likable because at the same time, while he was doing messed up stuff, he was showing sympathy to this girl when nobody else would. Now, the girl's mother, in my opinion, she was not likable at all. Even though she was trying to, get her daughter to lose weight. But this girl had no self control. She was just eating all kinds of junk. You know what I'm saying? But the mother was a straight dickhead to her. You know what I'm saying? And then the father, he was acting like he was indifferent to the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, his whole thing was like, I guess it was like he didn't care. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm sure they loved their daughter, but it was just the way they came off on it. You know what I'm saying? And then her brother, yeah, her brother was, I don't know, he was a little he was a little prick as well, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody in this movie showed this girl any kind of respect except for the killer and the boy that, she knew in town. You know what I'm saying? They were the only two that, really respected her. And like I said, the plot is like I said, it's interesting because it's something that you wouldn't see or you didn't see coming, in my opinion. And the violence level in this movie, it's not like brutally violent, but the scene where she jumps on old boy and rips out his jugular with her teeth, yeah, that was a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? But and then when the girl got her hand blown clean off, you could see like just a stump. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was crazy too. But other than those two things, it really wasn't too violent. You know what I'm saying? Those are really the only like gory parts of the film. And the acting, the big girl, I feel like she did a good job. I gotta look her up and see what her name is, but she did a wonderful job in this movie as far as her acting. You know what I'm saying? Because you would really think that she was getting picked on set or something like that. And maybe especially like when she was walking home forced to walk home in her bikini and all that. It's like you would really think she was, very emotional because the acting was awesome. You know what I'm saying? The movie's very depressing, and she had her life. It looked like her life sucked. You know what I mean? Due to the fact that she had too much weight on her. But the acting was well done. The two girls that was messing with her, you know what I'm saying? Like they were very unlikable, yo. They did a great job in them roles as well. In those roles, um, the killer, he was mute most of the movie. He didn't really say much until near the end when he brought her to that abandoned building. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know, yo. It was a pretty good. It was pretty good acting. But if you haven't seen this movie, you got to check it out. It's called Piggy. Um, if you're watching this on YouTube, give me a like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, you guys. And I will talk to y'all later. All right? Peace.
The feeling is mutual. Come in, take a seat, share your thoughts with each, and preach it when you speak, so we can share kinetic energy throughout the brainwaves. Keep us balanced out and all on the same stage.